Get a cup, get a cup, get a cup. Oh, everyone, welcome back to another video on Fresh Cut Slim. And today, I'm going to be reacting to SpongeBob versus Aquaman and Nickelodeon versus Super Friends Death Battle by Death Battle. Now, the last Death Battle I reacted to was pretty cool, so I'm hoping this is going to be just as cool. I'm not sure who's going to win this. Like, SpongeBob isn't really a fighter, and Aquaman is kind of a superhero. To me, it seems like Aquaman's gonna be the winner, but I guess we gotta see what abilities SpongeBob has, because I know SpongeBob can like transform himself into certain things, so I don't know. Let's go. Oh, Merry Christmas.
SpongeBob SquarePants, Nickelodeon's #1 nautical nincompoop.
Aquaman, the thalassic third wheel of the Super Friends. Thalassic means ocean. I looked it up.
The infinite ink-black depths of the seven seas are home to any number of terrifying, awe-inspiring creatures.
They're also home to these two losers. Though when it comes to
Don't call them that. Don't call them that.
cartoon characters, there's always more hidden beneath the waves. That's right, we're prioritizing the cartoons for maximum Toon Force shenanigans. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor,
And I'm
and
Fresh Cut
skills to
Slim,
find out who would win a death battle.
To me, it seems like it's a, what's it, cut and dry? Is that the word, cut and dry? It's very clear who's going to win. I think it's Aquaman, because SpongeBob isn't really a fighter. You know, he can't even do a bench press with two stuffed teddy bears on each side, and he can't even, if you try to karate chop something, he's not really made for fighting. Oh my gosh, the volume's going to be so effed. I forgot to turn this down. For some reason, my mic, every time I turn my computer on, my mic the volume gets jacked up to 100. I don't know why. So now I gotta, it's gonna be such a pain.
The year was 1946. The former allies of World War II were engaged in a Cold War between capitalist West and communist East.
The United States changed history forever with the introduction of the atomic bomb, a weapon of unparalleled nuclear devastation.
One of their most popular test spots, the site of 23 separate detonations over the course of 12 years for a total fission yield of 42.2 megatons, was Bikini Atoll in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
The results were ecological devastation, and perhaps something more. Deep beneath the atoll, the fauna began to change. They evolved,
That's how SpongeBob was created? Is that the lore? I didn't know that.
becoming sentient, forming language, technology, and society. This Bikini Bottom organized...
Is that actually the logic behind how it was created? No way. No way.
into a monarchy under the god King Neptune. It
Hey, yo.
developed a free market economy and a thriving
This origin is just one theory, perhaps contradicted by the fact that Bikini Bottom history had its own Wild West, medieval, and Paleolithic cultures. Okay, so this is just them creating it. Okay.
culture.
Even the simplest underwater creatures became capable of complex thought, including the very first multicellular organism to be categorized as part of the animal kingdom, the sea sponge.
And one sponge in particular, the greatest...
That's what SpongeBob actually looks like? I didn't know that. I didn't know... Like, guys, I've seen sponges before, but they've just kind of been like... Maybe I'm thinking like a sea cucumber.
among them lives in a pineapple under the sea. Oh!
SpongeBob SquarePants.
No, I wanted to sing the song.
I don't know about greatest. SpongeBob may headline one of the most popular children's cartoons of all time.
He's 36. He's 4 inches. If he wins this, I'm gonna be pissed off, because so far this is like... Aquaman's like the size of a human, right? And SpongeBob is 4 inches. That's like... 4 inches isn't big. Like, Aquaman, how can Aquaman lose? If Aquaman loses to SpongeBob, Aquaman's just a sucky superhero and deserves to not have his own movies. Even though he had one a couple years ago, and it was pretty good.
But he's a total dork. He's a painfully naive man-child whose only ambition in life is to continue his minimum wage job as a fry cook at the Krusty Krab.
Really sounding like a Squidward there, Wiz. And no one...
At least he's motivated. A lot of people go through life unmotivated. If you have a passion for the fast food industry for whatever reason, at least try to excel in it. Try to become management. Try to become the supervisor of the whole store. They'll at least pay you a lot better than they would, if you're a fry cook.
wants to be a Squidward.
I gotta take the hat off. I'm starting to sweat under here.
Sponge Robert might not have the flashiest
too hot,
life,
dude.
but he's happy. And that's what matters, ain't it?
Not in Death Battle, it doesn't. SpongeBob is routinely physically incapable of even the most basic tasks. Almost like anti-Toon Force. He's the biggest wimp in town. Like the time
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he can't lift that, how's he supposed to take out a Superman or a superhero?
he failed to lift a glass of lemonade, or the time a school bully gave him diarrhea, or the time he effortlessly rotated the entire planet. Huh.
Oh, we're in for some shit now, aren't we? Despite being a real sea creature, SpongeBob is more like a kitchen sponge. Absorbent and yellow and porous is he, after all. He can stretch and shapeshift his body any way he likes, duplicate himself through asexual reproduction, and absorb immense amounts of liquid. Wouldn't he always be full, though?
From an entire...
See, that is kind of, I guess, his superpower, right? And I knew that he had some abilities like this, but he's not violent. Now, Aquaman, if it was they had to fight each other, is he going to be himself where he's not really violent? Then Aquaman's probably just going to win because SpongeBob isn't violent, no matter how many shapes and whatever he can turn into.
lagoon to... Oh god. Enough water to replace the moon?
Oh, and for some reason, he has an insane healing factor. He survived being torn in half,
That does make him almost, and vaporized, that's right. That does make him almost invincible. Like, he may not win in terms of killing Aquaman, but it doesn't look like he can actually be killed himself. So in that case, maybe he is going to win, just from not being able to die.
vaporized, having his soul removed from his body, and literally being unraveled out of existence. Okay, I think we're good. We can just end the rundown here.
No. I need to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Perhaps his most mind-bending ability is his control over bubbles. No, stay with me. This is unbelievable. Like a soapy Green Lantern ring,
He did create like a sentient being out of bubbles. Remember I forget the bubble character's name, but with a hat, and then he just like walks off into a bus or something. So he created sentient life out of bubbles.
Bubbles can become anything he wishes, from guided cruise missiles to sentient life and entire bubble societies. That's a pretty similar effect to his magic pencil, which can draw anything he wants into existence and erase it from reality just as easily. The pencil was so powerful, SpongeBob sent it back to the surface where it belonged. But in later seasons, he still just has it for some reason.
And finished. I call him Doodle Whiz. Whiz, he's just like you, but I made him with a pencil.
I'm calling the police.
Even the mundane becomes godlike in SpongeBob's yellow hands, like his reef
If you have the ability to do that to your eyes to still see, I mean, I'd say that's a superpower right there.
blower, which hoovered up the entirety of Earth's oceans in seconds and then exploded on top of SpongeBob all at once.
It's estimated the entire mass of Earth's oceans is about 1.5 quintillion tons. Considering
And all that he was able to like stand holding that, you know?
all the water refilled the planet in about 1 second, that'd be a kinetic energy of over 6,000 yotatons.
That's
Yoda ton? What the frig's a Yoda ton? Wait a lot it is.
enough energy to nuke Jupiter 13 times over.
What?
And SpongeBob was completely unharmed.
His hydrodynamic spatula isn't just an impromptu bladed weapon, it's also his primary instrument to create the greatest foodstuff Bikini Bottom has ever seen. The Krabby Patty.
A burger so delicious, it's basically magic. Not only is it totally addictive, SpongeBob was romantically attracted to one. It can nullify mind
Are you judging?
control, heal wounds, and even detonate.
SpongeBob has survived nukes point blank, hugged his best friend Patrick so hard their DNA fused, can ride on the scene transitions, and once cried so hard he flooded Bikini Bottom, even though it's already underwater. Shit, he once grabbed a hold of this mysterious string and unraveled the entire universe. He
I don't remember that episode. What season's that from?
literally undid the fabric of reality in seconds. What the fuck?
What was that you were saying about anti-Toon Force?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I've ever misjudged a character as severely as...
Yeah, I guess I misjudged him too. He's not violent though. He's not a fighter. But his abilities, like I don't think he can be killed. So Aquaman's not going to win. I don't see how is that possible that Aquaman's going to win. I don't think so. Aquaman can like summon fish to attack him, but it's not. He can just turn into. He can just vaporize and that'll be it, and he'll still win.
as SpongeBob SquarePants.
Nice character arc there, Wiz. Unfortunately for Roberto, the rest of the town only saw the goofy goober on the outside. It took more than one adventure to prove himself to be a real hero. You think he ever banged that squirrel?
He's crushed.
Now we're asking the real questions. Note to self, there's a thumbnail I think SpongeBob's kind of more like asexual over anything, because I don't think there's ever been an episode where he's been, attracted to anyone.
Crush Plankton's Plan Z won the Battle of Bikini Bottom against an army of killer robots, and even teamed up with fellow Nickelodeon stars Timmy Turner, Jimmy Neutron, and Danny Phantom to save the Nicktoons multiverse.
His biggest weakness is that he's a giant, suicidally naive idiot.
And depending on the humidity of the atmosphere around him, being out of the water can dehydrate and permanently incapacitate him.
Oh, also
that's true.
Seasonal rot. Those first 3 seasons are pure gold, but after that, oh boy.
Can Aquaman go out of the water? Because if Aquaman can get SpongeBob out of the water, then maybe that's how Aquaman could win.
There's this one episode called Squid Baby where Squidward gets brain damaged into a giant baby and shits himself on screen.
What the frig? What season is this from? I've never seen this.
What are you talking about?
Right. Trials and tribulations and Hasselhoffs aside, it wasn't until SpongeBob accepted himself for who he was that he was rewarded with the greatest boon of all. Middle management!
So if nautical nonsense be something you wish, then pray to your yellow porous god for mercy, because his whimsical laughter is the last thing you'll ever hear.
Okay, now we're on to Aquaman. So far, SpongeBob looks pretty much undefeatable. He's not a fighter, but he seems to be able to take anything you can throw at him. As long as he stays in water. If he's out of water, it seems like that's his weakness. He's also stupid, but if he's in water, I think he's gonna win this. But if Aquaman can go out of water and then Aquaman can somehow take him out of water, then I think Aquaman might win.
Aquaman, king of the 7 seas.
We've covered Arthur Curry on the show before, and he's actually secretly awesome.
That's right, Boomstick. But the version we're dealing with today is from the bargain bin cartoons from the 60s and 70s.
Now, you might assume that means...
So you're not the one that there was a movie in 2017 or something? That Aquaman was pretty cool.
This Aquaman is a total loser, but really, have you watched all those cartoons?
He can lift giant
this is from the era
bricks.
when Superman was sneezing solar systems apart. So get ready.
Art's origin is basically the same as the Silver Age comics. Tom Curry was a humble lighthouse keeper who decided one day to fuck a fish.
He did not do that. He procreated with
And that's how Fish Eggs was made.
Atlanta and Atlantean
Just like how Tarzan created the the human ones by having a monkey.
from the underwater city of Poseidonus, and from their union, Arthur Curry was born with magnificent aquatic abilities.
And he's the king of Atlantis, too!
Oh, wait, no, it says here that was introduced in the comics later. Here he's just some guy with magnificent aquatic abilities, and
I don't think he's gonna win, especially because they're not going based off of the King of the Atlantis, because that one he's pretty cool. But this, if he's just some guy who has fish abilities, what the frig? But that does mean that he can go out of water. That does mean that he can go out of water if he's just some guy, right?
and a giant mutant seahorse that neighs just like a land horse.
This Aquaman comes from a time when everybody who's anybody had their own secret cave with assorted gadgets. He's got an underwater jet ski, a net, octopus ink, a water pistol, and a portable heat ray to blast right through
What the frig's a water pistol gonna do when you're in water? Shoot more water at you? What? It's just gonna be like when you're in a hot tub and there's a jet stream, right? And it's just a little, you feel the bubbles of the force, that's it?
solid ice. Not exactly mind-blowing, but, I'm sure we're ramping up.
We sure are. Aquaman's hybrid human Atlantean biology grants him superhuman strength, and
He can
the ability
plug
to breathe
holes, he can
underwater
plug holes.
indefinitely and withstand the crushing depths of the ocean floor.
The pressure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench is 16,000 pounds per square inch. That's like being stepped on by 100 elephants. Which is...
Yeah, it's impressive, but SpongeBob was also down at the bottom, right? Or whatever. Like when he went down that trench in that one episode, and he was at the deep sea stuff too. He's fine, so he did. Frig, that's nothing.
a lot, I guess.
Aquaman is also an incredible swimmer, able to travel from Florida to Maine in under an hour. That's almost twice the speed of sound. He can create water balls and whirlpools out of thin water, and fittingly, water-based attacks are completely ineffective against him. And of course, you can't forget his aquatic telepathy.
He can talk to fish, and he can even control people's minds and give them seizures, right?
Oh, actually, that second part is also just from the comics. Cartoon Aquaman can talk to fish, which is awesome. His telepathy can reach several miles.
So can SpongeBob. I mean, you're just like, SpongeBob's right now looking like the winner. This does not seem like much of a competition.
Summon hundreds of sea creatures at once, and works on anything from microscopic organisms to alien life. As long as it's aquatic alien life, of course.
But he can still mind control them, right?
Kind of. He can free them from mind control and even influence their emotional state to some degree, but besides that, there have been times when sea creatures have just ignored his commands outright.
This superhero sucks. What the frick? So you can mind control people? No, you can just kind of manipulate them. So, like a girlfriend?
Wiz, I'm gonna be straight with you. You haven't said anything remotely mind-blowing yet. Does this Aquaman actually suck?
Hold your seahorses. Aquaman's exploits were so world-renowned, he banded together with Earth's mightiest heroes to form a team capable of defending the planet, nay, the universe.
What was that? Hold on. Hold on. What was this right here? Is this like plastic in the water and the seal and these whales are about to choke on it?
Earth's
Look.
mightiest heroes to
Yeah, now they're choking on the plastic in the water.
form a team capable of defending the planet.
What a
nay,
power!
the universe
Woo!
from any threat. The Super Friends.
The Super Friends! They're like the dime store knockoff version of the Justice League.
What?
And the Justice League is like a knockoff version of Avengers.
No, you've got heavy hitters like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman,
Keep going.
Flash, Green Lantern.
Uh-huh.
Green Lantern and Batman and Superman, I think, are the best. But Batman's just a rich guy, so I mean, maybe Green Lantern and Superman, have the. I think they're the best out of this whole team here.
Apache Chief,
What?
Samurai, Black Vulcan, the Wonder Twins, and their pet monkey Gleek.
Wiz, stop. You're embarrassing yourself.
No, wait, his best direct strength feat was when he, moved some trash. About 50 metric tons of it.
The jokes write themselves.
See, didn't SpongeBob at one point like move the whole Bikini Bottom or something? Like, wasn't there like I vaguely remember something like Bikini Bottom was here, and then SpongeBob somehow moved it over to here. Or was SpongeBob not involved in that? And that was other people. I don't know. That's been so long.
Huh? Fun fact, Aquaman once enrolled in an American college under the name Mr. Waterman. So we're working with a pretty hefty IQ here.
See, the only thing that he has is that he can go outside of water, and that's where SpongeBob doesn't do so well as he's a lot taller than SpongeBob. So if he could grab SpongeBob and then take him out of water, that's how I think he could win. If he gets him out of water into a area where SpongeBob is not going to thrive. If he's in water, SpongeBob will win.
Huh?
Okay, so he's lame, inarguably completely lame. I was convinced I'd find some crazy, insane Popeye punching out the animator feat somewhere, but no, he sucks. He actually sucks. His best feat is literally garbage.
I'll take over from here, Wiz. Aquaman is a bit of a joke, sure, but he's not completely useless. He's dodged laser beams, defeated a living Titanic by luring it into an iceberg, seriously, and beaten this water
Luring the Titanic into another iceberg? You think the Titanic would have learned its lesson the first time? How many times have we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
elemental Undine, who looks like a gorilla for some reason, by summoning seagulls to pelt her with clamshells. He once even outswam this
Summoning seagulls to poop on her?
pterodactyl monster, Rokan, who flew from the edge of the galaxy to Earth in about 15 seconds.
Wait, really? Okay, now we're talking. That'd be over 55 billion times the speed of light.
That's not a water creature. I thought he could only control water creatures, as you said.
And Aquaman's swimming clearly outmatched that. It doesn't matter if it looks lame.
You get one, but
Oh, he didn't? I thought he summoned this one. Never mind. Maybe I heard wrong.
And hey, he could probably kick your ass, person that's watching at home, so that's something.
well, not if he's on dry land. If he's out of the water for even 1 hour, he dies.
What? What? Okay, I guess SpongeBob wins. How did he go to college and then all of a sudden, you know, he can't go out of the water? What the frig? What? I'm so confused.
Never mind, person watching at home, just hide for a bit, grab some lunch, and then stomp on his corpse.
But is raw power really what makes someone a hero? Or is it the drive to help others, to be of service, to sacrifice? That's what a hero is to me, and I'd say Aquaman's got as much of that as there are drops of water in the ocean.
He's about to die.
Yeah.
I don't know, because SpongeBob isn't, you know, a fighter, but SpongeBob's gonna easily, like, SpongeBob you can't destroy if they're in water. Apparently he can't even go into water. What a loser. So, I don't really see him doing so well. Like, I think SpongeBob, it's either gonna be a tie, or he's just not gonna survive.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go, here we go.
The combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibility. One possibility.
It's time for Aquaman's funeral!
I don't know. The only thing that Aquaman has now that SpongeBob doesn't is the size. SpongeBob is 4 inches tall, and Aquaman, I think it said he's like 6 feet or something. So that's the huge advantage. Now SpongeBob, if Aquaman could pick up SpongeBob and throw him out of water onto land, you know, because he can't even go outside of land now. But if you could throw him out, that might be the only advantage he has. Other than that, I don't see him winning.
Mermaid Man? Wait a second, you're not Mermaid Man.
The name's Aquaman, evildoer.
Evildoer? I'm a hero.
I saved this city.
My leg. I love that you included that.
There's only one real hero here, fiend. And he's a super friend.
You see, sir, I'm a sea sponge, phylum porifera, and you can't just... How about a little karate, Waterman?
It's Aquaman!
I love the animation. This is awesome. I love the facial expressions you gave him. This is freaking sick.
Of course. He's a sea creature. And as the king of the seas, he's mine to command. I wasn't just reaching out to you, Sponge. Let him have it, chums!
Oh, he's vaporized. Is he gonna like swarm over him and make him choke? You know, make Aquaman choke on him? That sounds questionable. I'm gonna go in your mouth and you're gonna choke. Ooh.
Great Neptune!
What the frig was that face?
Get a load of this, Seaman!
Damn it, it's
I don't want a load of this semen.
Need water powers.
Oh, just like that. Just like that. If he stays like that, then he dies.
Fading. Is there nothing I could do? My man. I see it now. A multiverse of Aquaman. And out of all of them,
I'm the worst.
I'm the lamest fucking one! I'm a ripoff. Joke. I'm no superhero.
Oh, look at that. See, SpongeBob is feeling kind, is going to let the water come back. Maybe they become friends or something here.
People used to say the same kind of things about me. Goofball, wingnut, knucklehead McSpazatron. But every day, I get back up and say 2 words. I'm ready.
May the best hero win.
No, the pencil's ripped.
What?
Where the frig did he go? Also, why did they decide to use this version of Aquaman? No one's forcing them to use this. Why couldn't they have used the one where he's like the king of Atlantis or whatever? The one with the movie's based off of. With Jason Momoa, I think that's his name. That's a pretty, he's actually got some powers in that, and that was a pretty cool movie. So I think that would be a lot more impressive than why did they choose the lamest version?
The other side of the universe.
What the freak is going on?
I'll be a real superhero. Don't cry, Sponge.
Look at, he's fine. He's perfectly fine. And then Aquaman looks like he's not doing so fine.
Let's be super.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Sponge. We all knew that was the outcome. We all knew that.
KO!
Not surprised, like in the least.
What is it with ridiculously OP nautical-themed cartoon characters on this show, Wiz?
This was an incredibly close fight.
What? Yeah, okay.
Gotcha! Obviously, Aquaman didn't have a snowball's chance in hell in defeating this little spongy bastich.
Where do we even start? With his bubbles and magic pencils, SpongeBob could basically do anything he wanted. There was no way Aquaman wouldn't get totally overwhelmed, especially with his much more limited arsenal. I can't think of a more lopsided matchup than someone whose main attack is throwing water against a sentient sea sponge.
When you're in the water. How does it, if you're on land and you can throw water, then it's like shooting a water gun, so you could feel the pressure. Or, like how there's like riots and sometimes they'll have like a water cannon to shoot people away. Like there it'll do something, but when you're in the water, I feel like the force or the effect is lessened.
Aquaman's only potential option was his telepathy, but as we've covered, it's far less powerful than his comic counterpart. There's no reason to believe SpongeBob wouldn't just ignore Arthur's commands.
Even if it was straight up mind control, SpongeBob's Krabby Patties straight up cancel mind control.
And really, nothing Aquaman had could overcome Bob's utterly broken regeneration.
The little yellow dude has survived being completely disintegrated into dust and even erased from reality.
Exactly. Like if you can do this, then it does not matter what Aquaman could do, he's gonna win.
All Aquaman can do is punch kind of hard, and even that's basically useless against Bob's squishy body.
Maybe Aquaman could have found a way to dehydrate SpongeBob enough.
That's what I was saying. If you can get him out of water, that's where he has some kind of chance. But even though, because in this movie, he was out of water for a bit, though, wasn't he? Like I don't think he just dried up right away. Like he was out of water for a little bit, so he could still walk his way back into water.
Enough to keep him permanently incapacitated, like when he and Patrick were trapped in Shell City.
But that would require the fight to take place out of the water, which messes Aquaman up way harder than it does SpongeBob. And it also require the fight doesn't instantly end up with SpongeBob karate chopping Aquaman at 10 zillion times the speed of light, splattering his atoms against Saturn. Cause yeah, remember when SpongeBob unraveled the universe? Considering the—
No, I'm sorry, I need to do this one. This is fucking insane. Compared to SpongeBob's
I don't remember this. I don't know what season this was on.
size, the string's width is about 192 micrometers. We can use that to find the volume of, say, 1 meter of string. And
So you're trying to find the mass of the universe, and then I guess how long it takes him to unravel it, then that kind of like goes into how fast that he's pulling, I guess.
compare that to the volume of the entire observable universe. Considering it took SpongeBob about 5 seconds, he would have had to be pulling at 8.2 times 10 to the 78th power times faster than light.
That's as many times faster than light as there are atoms in the universe.
This is the fastest calculable speed feat in our show's history. And it belongs to SpongeBob SquarePants.
But do you think he could take on comic book Aquaman?
Have you been listening to anything I've been saying?
Yeah, like I don't think anyone can really destroy him. It doesn't seem like, unless there's some way to. I don't know. Even if you vaporize him, he's fine. Like I don't know. He seems like he's invincible.
Good point, because let's not forget,
Of course I didn't forget!
that string feat also destroyed the entire universe. And stuff like that is actually consistent.
SpongeBob is literally aware of the fourth wall and has rewritten the plot of his own story as he's living it. Screw the pencil or the bubbles, he can just will whatever he wants into existence.
Aquaman won the moral victory, and then everything else LMAO. SpongeBob SquarePants, absurdly stronger and faster, absorbs water attacks, immune to telepathy, infinite potential with powers, cannot be killed by Arthur, and he's a dumbass. That's the only thing, is that he's not really smart. And he's also, but he's kind though, right? He's kind. He's not a villain, and he's not really, I don't know much of a hero, but he's a good person, or Sponge.
Distance from his imagination. He's a god, a yellow, spongy god of death.
And that's why he beats Goku.
At least Arthur finally got to be a real hero. And at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Yeah, sure, whatever, pal. He's dead. Too bad for the King of the Seas. That sure was one sweet victory.
Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. I agree. Like, SpongeBob seems way too OP. Like, of course he wins. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think I would rate this out of a 10. First off, I don't understand why they decided to go with this version of Aquaman. No one's forcing them to choose this version. They had all the other versions. You should have chosen the best and most powerful version, just because, I mean, SpongeBob's so OP that he deserves some kind of a challenge. And you choose the lamest version? I don't know why you do that. But regardless, I think I'd rate this like maybe like an 8.2. I really enjoyed it. Hope you guys did as well, and I'll see you guys next time.